Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Discover ASEA presentation. A big warm welcome to our associates that are listening to this call from around the world, but a particular warm welcome to our guests that are maybe listening to this for the very first time. This presentation is really geared for you. A little bit about myself. I'm originally from Ireland. I now live in Dallas, Texas, married a beautiful Irish girl and have two little leprechaunettes. And we now have been living here for quite some time. As far as ASEA goes, I've been associated with this remarkable company and technology for almost 12 years. It'll be 12 years this May, and it's been absolutely life-changing. What we're going to do on this call is we are going to cover three important sections. Number one, we're going to unwrap the huge breakthrough. What is the magic in this bottle that is changing lives? Why is this the most profound health technology of our lifetime? Secondly, we're going to hear from somebody that has had truly a miraculous experience with this technology. We're going to hear from James, sometimes known as the Miracle Man, and you're going to hear his amazing, amazing story. And then at the end, I'm going to introduce you to a little bit about who ASEA is, the company, and the tremendous opportunity that has been created with this breakthrough. So we have a lot to get through. It's going to take us about 40 minutes or so. So we have to keep moving. So the breakthrough. We have a technology that is being hailed as the most significant health science breakthrough of our lifetime. This represents a new category of science, something that for 10 to 15 years for 10 to 15 years ahead of its time. This is a very, very advanced technology. In fact, for 20 years, science said what is inside this blue bottle could not exist. It could not be done. Okay. I always think it's good to get clear on what this is not. People have a lot of perceptions about health supplements. This is not a vitamin supplement or a mineral or antioxidant or exotic juice. It's not an essential oil, and it's not a CBD oil. It's none of those things. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those things. There are some great products in those categories. I am saying that this goes beyond nutrition and ingredients, and yet it can impact your health at a very, very profound level. For many people, ASEA Redox represents the missing link to better health and vitality. So what is it? It is the world's first and only redox signaling supplement. Now let's take these two words, redox signaling. Let's deal with redox first and then signaling. Redox signaling, redox biochemistry. This is a very, very fast growing area of science. There are many books written on this subject. There are tens of thousands of studies, now almost 20,000 studies published on redox. There are international conferences studying redox, bringing some of the greatest scientists in the world in biochemistry and health together to really understand this amazing area of science. Universities are getting multi-million-dollar grants to study redox. In fact, one of my favorite things to say, I'm sorry, that little, this didn't come out right, my apologies, but if you could read that little image in the corner, it talks about societies changing their name to reflect redox, okay? Changing their name to reflect redox. So societies used to talk about free radicals and antioxidants. Well, that's old news. That's like watching a black and white television, okay? Today, the world is talking about redox. And so why are they doing that? Well, it's because redox and redox signaling is absolutely foundational to cellular health. It's foundational to cellular rejuvenation and renewal. In fact, it impacts every major body system in the body, your cardiovascular system, gosh, my mind's gone blank, your endocrine system, your respiratory system, your reproductive system, all of these systems, they're all impacted by redox signaling, okay? Sorry, here's the image for that. My slides are a little bit out of order tonight. I apologize. I think I accidentally picked up the wrong slide deck. So every single system and organ in the body is impacted by this signaling, okay? So let's talk about signaling. Your body is the most complex communication network that exists. Every second of every day, your cells are passing tremendous amounts of information through the body. Any breakdown in this signaling, and you cannot be healthy. To put it very, very simply, if your cells can't signal, then little else matters. Now, to me, this is very easy to understand. I'm going to give you a very simple example. Your house is on fire. You call the fire department, and they're there with the big red truck and the firefighters and the fire hose. They've got everything they need to put out this fire. But what if you have a bad cell signal and they don't get the message? Okay, it doesn't matter how good the fire truck is. What is critical here is your ability to communicate and signal to the fire truck. Well, the same is true with your immune system, and all of the products that we're familiar with up to now, they deal with the fire truck. It's like saying, well, we need a brighter red fire truck. We need bigger wheels in the fire truck. We need a taller ladder in the fire truck. We need more firefighters. We need a stronger fire hose. And all of those things can be beneficial, but only if they get the message. We have the only technology in the world that can actually amplify and clarify this critical cell signal. And the difference in people's lives is absolutely astonishing, okay? And we use exactly the same molecules that your body uses for this process, and they're known as redox signaling molecules. So these molecules are made inside your cells. Your cells are like little bags of salt water. And as you're producing energy, you're spinning out these molecules. And they're critical to the cells protecting themselves, detecting, repairing, and replacing basic cellular health and cellular rejuvenation. Now, you may say, well, if we're making these molecules in our cells, then why are we talking about them? Well, with age, we begin to make less. It's about 10% less molecules for every 10 years you're alive. And so I'm 51, I should have about half the molecules that I had when I was a kid running around the streets of Ireland, okay? But that's age. Then you add stress, then you add toxic living, the air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, all of these things, and we begin to make less and less of these molecules. Our little cell phones, the bars are going from 5 bars to 4 bars to 3 bars to 2 bars to 1 bar to the call dropping, okay? And we're wondering why we cannot move towards health and vitality. So common sense should kick in, and you say, well, let's take a supplement. We've been taking redox signal. I mean, we've been taking supplements for years, vitamin supplements, antioxidant supplements. Let's take a redox signaling supplement. Wouldn't that solve all the problems? Well, yeah, it would. It would be pretty cool. But remember, science said it was impossible. I want to explain why so you can fully grasp the breakthrough of ASEA. You see, for 2 decades, science said these molecules are too fleeting. They're too reactive, okay? You can't stabilize something so reactive outside of the body. It can't be done. Think of these molecules as little sparks, okay? Now, how do I make a spark and catch it in a glass to bring it to the party at the weekend to light the barbecue? I can't. It's a spark. It's fleeting. It's gone. Same with these molecules. I like to call them fleeting angels. They do their good work and then they're gone. So science said, look, it's a nice idea, but it cannot be done. So it's with that background, I want you to appreciate the massive ASEA breakthrough. 2 decades of research, millions of dollars, multiple patents, and the scientists behind ASEA achieved the impossible. They created and stabilized redox signaling molecules outside of the body in perfect balance as they are found in healthy cells. This means for the first time we can refuel, replenish, restore our cells with more of these molecules and help our cells work like they're supposed to, help our cells work like they did when we were younger. Now, I don't want to get lost in the science here. I hope nobody came here for an in-depth biochemistry lecture. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to give you an overview of a new category in science that's never been done before, okay? And so one of the first things we've got to answer, it's kind of the pink elephant in the room, and that is the ingredients in the product. Everybody is trained to pick up a health product, spin it around, And they all want to see, well, what are the magical ingredients? Are they mushrooms? Is it noni fruit? Is it Irish moss? Is it chlorella, wheatgrass? What are the mystical, magical properties in here that are allowing people to have such amazing results? And you're going to look at it. And if you're looking at it from a nutrition perspective, you're going to be a little disappointed because they're very boring ingredients. It's salt and water. And you might be scratching your head going, hold on a second, this sounds a little shady. Salt water. No, that's not going to change people's lives. What you have to understand is your cells are little bags of salt water. You're making these molecules right now out of that salt water. The atomic building blocks for redox signaling molecules are sodium, chloride, hydrogen, and oxygen. That is a biochemistry fact. That's how you make these molecules. That's how you are making these molecules at the minute. And so these are the building blocks. You can't make these molecules out of noni fruit and wheatgrass. You can't make these molecules out of flour, eggs, and sugar. You can only make these molecules out of the same ingredients your body uses, salt and water. And so we take pristine salt and water, we pass it through a very, very complex, heavily patented process to break down the salt water and then restructure into trillions of these redox signaling molecules. So maybe here's the first big aha moment. This is not a bottle of salt water. This is a bottle of trillions of redox signaling molecules that we have made and stabilized from salt and water. Big, big difference. Now, 5 years passed and we were then able to take it to another level and put it in a topical gel called Renew 28. So now we have one powerful redox signaling technology in two delivery systems, the drink and the gel. As I said, it's heavily patented. We currently have 7 active patents on this technology. But I got to be honest with you guys, we're moving more and more towards trade secrets. There are some countries, I don't want to offend anybody by mentioning them, but there are some countries that don't really respect US patent law and try and knock off a lot of products. It's actually, in many ways, safer and better protection to have trade secrets. So for example, Coca-Cola is a secret recipe. It's not a patented recipe. So we have a combination of both patents and secrets protecting this technology. We go to one of the top independent testing labs in the country called BioAgilytix. They work with some of the top pharmaceutical companies, and they test batches of our product to certify that this is indeed a redox signaling technology, that this is not a bottle of salt water. Okay, this is something very, very special. We went to one of the top independent skin dermatological institutes in Germany called Dermatest, and they put Renew 28 through its paces and gave it their 5-star seal of excellence for 2 reasons. Number one, it's very safe, very clean, no nasty ingredients, okay? Totally non-toxic. Number 2, very, very effective. We saw a 20% increase in the skin's elasticity, this springiness of your skin. We saw a 20% plus improvement in wrinkle depth, in tone, in texture, in all of these things. We also did further studies with Stevenson Associates. They're actually based here in Dallas. We saw a 16% improvement in skin cell renewal. See, as you're young and your skin cells rejuvenate very quickly, about every 28 days. As you age, that 28-day cycle becomes 30 days, 40 days, 50 days. It can go 90 days long, okay? And that's, what do you think looks better, 90-day-old skin or 28-day-old skin? Well, obviously, younger, fresher skin looks better than the old scale, sagging, crinkling skin. And so what we find is using this technology, we can bring your skin cell renewal rates back 16% closer to where they were when you were younger. Now, in a world where most cosmetic products are simply putting a coat of paint on a crumbling wall, we're actually getting to the root cause as to why that wall is crumbling. It's all cell signaling, cell communication, cellular renewal and rejuvenation, okay? So very, very exciting technology for the skin. Athletes began to notice improvements in endurance and recovery. So we got some mice, we gave them ASEA, and guess what? They ran 29% further to exhaustion on ASEA. We then wanted to find out why. What we discovered were serious metabolic shifts, about 30% shift in the mice burning fat as fuel versus sugar. Sugar is our muscle sugars, our muscle glycogen is very easy to tap into. It's much harder to tap into the fat reserves. Ask anybody who's been on a treadmill for a year trying to get into a smaller pant size. It's hard to tap into those fat reserves. What we noticed was a 30% shift into fat burning mode. So we're never going to cheapen this product by simply saying it's a weight loss product or a fat burning product. That's only like one key in the piano, guys. But I do suggest that if you are working out, drink ASEA 30 minutes before you, some cardio, help your body make that metabolic shift. And then to crown it off, we went to one of the top genetic testing labs, Torre Labs. They did some really exciting studies on this product. We knew it was a signaling technology at the cellular level, but could it signal at the genetic level? And what we discovered in an 8-week study was we could increase signaling up to 31% in 5 really important gene signaling pathways. These pathways included the immune system, the inflammatory response, cardiovascular health, digestive health, hormone balance. 5 huge areas of health. I did a presentation once in a room with a couple of hundred people, and I said, everybody please stand up. If you or somebody you love, somebody close to you, maybe a family member, has an immune challenge, please sit down. I went through the inflammatory response, please sit down. By that point, almost everybody's sitting down, okay? And we still hadn't got through the other 3. By the time we get through cardiovascular health, healthy digestion, and hormone balance, everybody's sitting down. I want you to understand how huge these 5 areas of health are, and that we're talking about impacting them at the genetic level by up to 31% in 8 weeks. Guys, it's game over as far as the most advanced, the most impactful health supplement in the world. This is a breakthrough, make no mistake about it. And it changes lives, as you're about to hear. And so this is why people are feeling better. It's the missing link for so many people to better health and vitality. This is why athletes are performing better, from gold medal Olympic swimmers all the way to Ironman triathletes, world record holders, etc. This is why people are beginning to look better. Wrinkles and redness and irritation and age spots and all sorts of things with the skin, wrinkles, stretch marks, cellulite, even things that hurt. We discovered the same gel. This is all about Renew 28, this topical gel. If you got a sore wrist, rub the gel on 3 times in 5 minutes. Basically rub it on, let it dry, and repeat 2 more times. And almost 100% of people see significant, if not complete, reduction in their discomfort. It's quite amazing. There's so many applications for this technology. It is incredible. Why? Because everything requires signaling. We're getting to the absolute foundation of how your body works. Here's another example, amazing transformation. Just using the topical gel, Renew 28, 22 days on the gel, and you can see the transformation of this gentleman. He was so impressed with this, he started drinking the ASEA Redox drink, and within a few more weeks, he's actually back to work again for the first time in a year. He'd been having some health challenges, and basically our technology got him back on his feet again. Here is an amazing transformation from age 84 over on the left to age 87 on the right. Quite remarkable. If that's not age reversal at the cellular level, I don't know what is. So hopefully by this point, there's no doubt that this is a breakthrough. And we certainly believe, and many experts believe, this is the single greatest health science breakthrough that we will probably see in our lifetimes. Breakthroughs of this caliber and magnitude do not come along very often. Now, we have built 2 other product ranges. We've built Renew Advanced. It's the only redox-based skincare system on the success of Renew 28. We have a concentrated serum, a redox serum, as well as a cleanser and a moisturizer. Very, very clean, very effective, no parabens, no sulfates, no nasty ingredients. 100% of participants in a trial saw improvements in fine lines and wrinkles. So very effective products and very clean. ASEA Via is our nutritional range. Again, very high caliber of ingredients, high quality ingredients, and very bioavailable. You are what you absorb, not what you eat. Okay, so it's really important that you can absorb the nutrition from your supplements. So very high quality nutritional products. Now, if we bring it kind of all together, your body is in a constant state of breakdown and repair. If you imagine a home, if you've got a hole in the roof, or the floors, the doors, the windows need fixing, you need the materials, just like your body needs the calcium and the magnesium and the boron and the strontium and the zinc, etc. Your body needs these materials, and they can get that through the nutritional world. And we offer that in very high quality bioavailable products. But what if no labor shows up to get the work done? What if nobody shows up to actually get the work done? You've just got a bunch of building materials in your front garden. Guys, we're the only product in the world, or sorry, the only company in the world that can actually offer both the building materials and the labor. You could think of these molecules as the labor that are giving the instructions and the commands to actually get the work done. And that really makes us the premier cellular health company in the world. So look, enough from me. Now we get to the favorite part of today's call, and I am going to see if our special guest is here, James from Illinois. Let me go full screen. Okay, hold on a second. There we go. Hey, James, thank you so much for joining me on the call here tonight. Really appreciate it. James, you're known as the miracle man in your local, in your neighborhood. And I think after people hear your amazing story here tonight, they'll understand why that is so. But James, could you tell us a little bit kind of what your life was like before ASEA? I know you got to go back a little bit in time to explain, but kind of what your life was like before ASEA, and then what your experience has been using this amazing technology.
Well, before ASEA, I worked between 60 to 70 hours a week at a small factory here in town on set up screw machines and stuff. Made a lot of government work and stuff on the screw machines. And so I was quite active, and I would do a lot of walking and exercise bikes and stuff. And then in my late 20s, early 30s, I got went for a checkup and had a diagnosis of a neurological condition. And so I thought, okay, that was a foul ball. So then, as time progressed, I started getting tired, and then my tremors started. And it was hard to manipulate and stuff. So I got along pretty good until the year 1989. That was a rough year. That's when everything came to a head. I would usually go in for a 10-day treatment. And of course, our son, his birthday happened to be on Halloween. And so I was due for treatment in November, so I had it scheduled to be in and out home for the birthday party for his four-year-old. Well, I didn't make it. The 10 days ended up 18 days. I walked into the hospital and I came out in a wheelchair. And I've been in the wheelchair ever since. It was quite hard for our young family because I couldn't participate with the kids when the kids were doing anything at school because school wasn't handicapped. And if I wanted to spend time with the kids, I'd have to crawl up on my hands and knees up. If I wanted to get anywhere in the house, I had to crawl up the steps and slide down. And my daughter vaguely remembers me when she was young of walking, but my son had never seen me walk.
Wow.
So it got in the wheelchair up until then. I got to the computer became my friend because I was in the wheelchair from the time I'd get up to the time I went to bed. And so I taught on the computer how to make web pages and HTML a lot. And in the meantime, I developed some friends and a couple back east. About 2011 or so, in the middle, they started telling me about this product. It just came out. And I said, oh, yeah, getting great results. You ought to try it. And one fellow would say, one best thing about it, Jim, no side effects. And I would go, yeah, right. I said, there's not a product made, drug or anything else on the market that didn't have side effects. So we let it go by. And in the meantime, back in April of 2012, one Sunday night, we were on Skype and he asked how I was doing. And I said, well, I was due to go for a bunch of tests because I was having developed severe pain and tremors in my right arm. Of course, I'm right-handed. And oh gosh, 10 minutes went by and I didn't hear anything. I said, are you still there? And he came back on and says, it's time. I said, time. Yes, it's time for you to get the product.
Yeah.
And of course, I knew nobody around here on the product or anything about the product. So I talked it over with the wife and I said, okay. So I ordered it on a Sunday night. I got the product on a Wednesday. I started taking the 2 and 2. By Friday, I was able to stand up on my wheelchair and move around to the back and started pushing it around the house. And then I started crawling down, sliding down the basement steps to a wheelchair in the basement to get on my exercise bike. And before I could just do barely 10 minutes. But when I started the ASEA, I could do an hour and climb off, come crawl back up and have breakfast. And then lunchtime, and after lunch, I'd do the same thing. I was able to do the exercise bike an hour before breakfast, an hour after lunch, and an hour after supper. I was getting along real good.
Amazing.
So,
And that was just I mean, literally you were like 3 or 4 days on the product. And so
right.
Here you are, I mean, sitting in a wheelchair since, if we do the math, roughly it's 20 years in this wheelchair, things getting worse. And this product got delivered, and in 3 days, you're noticing some significant changes in your mobility.
So it was 6 weeks to the very day I started ASEA. I had to go for my annual checkup. At that time, I had to see 3 doctors. One was a heart doctor, and he was the first one I saw because I have a heart condition that kind of runs in the family. And so I walked in and I told him what I was doing. I said, I'm taking all yours. I call it junk at that time. But I said, I started taking this natural product twice a day. And I had no side effects, and I've been doing real good. So I put the flyer down on his desk. He looked at it and he sloughed it back to me. He said, Jim, that's just ordinary salt water. Oh, okay. Salt water. Okay, doc. But I said, do you know anything about the redox molecule? Yeah, we had to study that a little bit. I said, okay. So he's going along with the exam. And I said, wait a minute, doc. I said, you said that's ordinary salt water. I've been taking it twice a day now for 6 weeks, along with your other medicine. My blood pressure should be sky high and my cholesterol should be out of sight. And I'd be going down to my primary care doctor to up my medicine, because at that time I was on 5 meds. Oh, definitely. I said, okay. I had my blood work drawn. And then I said, you guys have taken my blood pressure twice today. And I said, look at the figures and give me the numbers. And I don't want no triglycerides, no nothing. I just want the number. So he looked again. He started again. I said, doc, cut the crap, just the number. Well, he said, your blood pressure is good.
Yeah.
I would say pretty good, almost perfect. I said, oh, okay. And the other, no, fine. Oh, I said, oh, that's right, salt water.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So then he picked up the flyer and left the room. He came back, he stood right in front of me. And he said, Jim, you are looking a lot sharper. You're talking a lot clearer. And you're doing terrific. And I don't want to see you for 18 months. I'll go along with that. I haven't seen him since.
Yeah.
So the next day was my neurologist. And he had just put me on a new medication. And I told him what I was doing. I showed him the pamphlet. And I showed him I'd get up and get out of the chair. And I said, look, well, he said, well, natural products are good, but they could be just a tad expensive, Jim. So be careful. I said, okay. So I said to him, I said, well, doc, I'll give you a mathematical quiz. The new prescription he gave me for all my pain and stuff, I could only take 3 tablets. And after the 3rd one, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat, I couldn't talk. I couldn't do anything. And, but I've been on this product now for going on 7 weeks and only taken 2 and 2. And for the price of that one prescription, I can get 2 cases of that to my house and it lasts me over 2 months.
Mm.
Oh, you better keep taking it, Jim. So he's my neurologist and I haven't seen him going on 4 years.
Yeah. So James, you were telling me that now people are driving past your house. You'll be out there cutting the grass.
I started to, well, after my checkups and stuff, I'd come home and I'd push the wheelchair around the block and I'd go out and started mowing my yard, pushing it. And I'll tell you, I never seen so many people have, I call it whiplash. They would ride around, go down the street. They would turn around 4 times before they hit the end of the block. And some of them would drive around my block 6 times to watch me mow my yard. And if I was out walking with the pushing the wheelchair.
Yeah.
So and then my primary care doctor, the first question I get, I see him twice a year. Are you on the product? I said, yep, look at the figures. And not this last time, but the time before, he sat down and he looked me in the eye and he said, Jim, do you realize how far you have come from the condition you were when I first saw you to what you are now today? And he's the one that can nickname me the Miracle Man.
Yeah.
And so I do everything now that I normally could do before with the help of a rollator, and I wore out 4 of them. But I did everybody said, well, did you do your own test? Well, yeah, I did. About 2017, we had to fly the wife over to Ohio to see a pulmonologist because she worked at a popcorn factory. And at that time, I didn't know anything about the pouches, but I was told I couldn't take my 32-ounce bottle of ASEA on carry-on. I said, okay. So we left on a Thursday morning. I took 8 ounces before we left. And they flew us to Ohio. We got there, stayed over. She did her treatment. We got back to the airport, and I started to fidgeted a little bit there in Ohio. And my wife said, "What's the problem?" I said, "Well, if that plane don't hurry up and get here, I ain't walking." My legs were starting to turn to jelly. So she went up and told the girl at the desk. They helped me get on the plane, and we had to do another stop. And the crew was with me 100%. They helped me on and off the plane. We got back to Chicago, and they put me in a wheelchair. We wheeled down to get picked up, the guy who brought me. He got out of the car, he took one look at me in the wheelchair, and he said, "How am I ever going to get you home?" In the home. And the wife said, "Just wait. When you get home, I'll get the wheelchair, we'll get him out." We got home at 11:30 at night on a Friday night. I got into the house. I went out, I took 4 ounces of the ASEA. I went in and I cleaned up. I came out, I took 2 more ounces of ASEA, and I went to bed. I got up at 5 o'clock Saturday morning. I took another 2 ounces and went to put my coat on. And the wife comes out, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going over to pick up the senior paper," walk over and pick up the senior papers. When I come back, I'll take another 2 doses and I'll have breakfast, and we'll go out to the farmer's market. Yeah. "You couldn't walk Friday night." I said, "Yeah, well, I got my ASEA in, I'm ready to go."
Yeah.
So, and I've been going, not as fast as I'd like to, but I've been going every day. And usually when I go for a walk, I'd walk about 4 or 5 miles after lunch around town and come back, and I wouldn't be out of breath. I'd be, let's go again.
James, it's absolutely an incredible story. What an amazing journey, and to have spent so long with the challenges with really no solution in sight, and then the missing link, the signaling, the communication comes into your life with these molecules, and the transformation is just absolutely astonishing. And for your doctors to turn around and say, "You are the miracle man," is amazing. I do need to stress to everybody, of course, that ASEA is not a treatment or cure for any disease or medical condition. We certainly do not want to imply that. We are simply, for the first time ever, being able to give our bodies a resource, a signaling resource. And what our bodies decide to do with that resource is totally up to our bodies. But obviously, James, your body decided to put these amazing little molecules to work. So James, thank you so much for sharing your story with us here tonight. It truly is remarkable. And I really appreciate you giving up some time here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alan, for having me. I appreciate, and thank Virtus and Tyler for me, because without them, I would not be what I'm doing today.
Yeah, I love it. We'll definitely do that. Okay. Thank you, James. Wow. What an amazing story. Let me just go back full screen here. 1 second. Sometimes if you tune into this on a regular basis, I sometimes find it hard to move on to the next segment because I get so caught up in another life changed with this technology. But the next section is simply this. We believe that we have a technology that the world deserves to know about. Okay, and after listening to James's story, hopefully you're right there with me. The world should know this exists. And how are we going to do that? And that's what we're going to talk about here just very briefly for the next 10 minutes or so. The bottom line is, guys, breakthroughs do create opportunity. And the bigger the opportunity, the bigger the breakthrough. Sorry, I'm still thinking of James's story. I get distracted in this part because half my mind is still on a life changed. And I got to switch gears here. But the bottom line is, guys, breakthroughs create opportunity. And the bigger the breakthrough, the bigger that opportunity. And I guess if you're in the market for opportunity, if you're looking at this as an entrepreneur, a simple question is, do you want to be at the end of the last wave, or do you want to be at the beginning of the next wave? I certainly want to be in the future. I want to be where the wave is heading, not where it's come from. And there's no doubt about it. Look, antioxidants, vitamins, if you're still talking about antioxidants, it's like watching black and white TV. The future is redox. And so here we are with a new category of science. It's high impact. It's validated by third-party independent science. It's heavily patented. We have no competition, no copycats. Everybody needs it. Virtually nobody knows about it. And it's opening up huge, huge financial opportunity for the right person. To tell you just a little bit about the story, these are the two gentlemen that James actually referenced, Vertus and Tyler, the founders of ASEA. They bought this technology from a struggling biotech company. They figured out how to stabilize these molecules and then had the ability to sell it to the pharmaceutical industry. At the same time, they started a small group of people using the product. And that small group of 40 people gradually grew to 135 people in countries all around the world. Okay, why did that happen? Because the product worked, because people felt different and they told others, and they felt better and they told others. And so the pharmaceutical industry flew in, said, hey, we know what you've got here. We want these molecules, and we're willing to write you a check big enough that you don't need to talk to anybody else. But there is one condition, and that is every single one of these random people, they need to stop using the products. And I honestly believe, this is 2008, the worst recession since the Great Depression. We've got a product made from salt water in Salt Lake City with molecules the world's never heard of. Vertus Norton is 69 years of age, supposed to be retired playing golf. And here's the big payout from the pharmaceutical industry. What do you think most people would do? I truly believe in this culture that we live in, most people would take the check. But Vertus and Tyler said no. They said no to this payout, and they said yes to a handful of people. I mean, James wasn't one of those people. He started using the product, I think he said 2012, heard about it in 11, but started using it in 12. This is going back to 2008. But imagine if James was one of these people, and the amazing transformation that he's found in his life. Imagine saying, hey, buddy, you can't have the product anymore. And that's a company I'm really proud to represent. That's a company I'm proud to wear the brand. I'm proud to wear the shirt with the name on it. Because this is a company that puts people first. And if that sounds like your tribe, you may have just found your place here. So how do we tell the world that this technology exists? How do we let the world know that this amazing breakthrough is now here, ready to change lives? And sometimes people say, look, if your product's so good, why is it not in the health food store? It wouldn't work in the health food store. You imagine picking this bottle up, 10, 11, 12 years ago, turning it around and seeing just it's made from salt water, and you've no understanding, no explanation, no education. We realized that a little education and a little personal experience will go a long way to move this product around the world. And that's word of mouth marketing, network marketing. And we're always recommending things. It's just we rarely get paid for those recommendations. Okay. Instead, we pay all that money to the middlemen. Sometimes half to 3/4 of the cost of a product is caught up in the middlemen, the marketing, the advertising, the distribution. We say there's a better way. There's a more ethical way. Let somebody who actually uses the product recommend it to other people. Okay. And the company then sends you a thank you check, a small commission check for introducing that customer. And you can do this all by yourself, or you can build a team of like-minded people. And this allows you to then experience leverage. When you build a team, you can build a bigger check. It's just like if you want to start a real estate company, you can have one real estate agent yourself, or you can build a team of real estate agents. If you're starting an insurance company, you could be a team of one person, or you can build a company. You can build a sales force, an organization of many, many insurance reps. Same concept, guys, not complicated. Very, very simple, okay? And so this is a huge industry. The network marketing industry is a $190 billion industry. It pays out about 200 million a day in commissions. Our company is doing very, very well. We're a legacy-focused company. We distribute product over 30 countries, 18, 19 different distribution centers. I think it's now 19 distribution centers to service those countries. We've been very, very successful. We've paid out 350 million in commissions. We've got 30 members now of our $1 Million Earners Club. We've grown every year, and we have changed tens of thousands of people's lives. The question I want to ask you is, what do you want? You know, is it part-time income? Is it fire your boss income? Is it plan B income? Is it lifestyle income? What do you want? What would make a difference to you? This is our 2019 income disclosure statement. You can see the monthly average there with the box around it. These are monthly average incomes at different levels in our business. And I want to stress, this is a business. It does require work. There's no such thing as a free lunch. This business is going to reward you based on your work, your consistency, your dedication. Let's be very, very clear about that. But these incomes are real, and we have associates achieving them, all the way from that part-time income, getting your product paid for, all the way up to what I think would be safe to say lifestyle incomes. Also, we're talking about the ability to build a residual income. We have a consumable product that gets results, and you can't get it anywhere else. That locks in a repeat reorder residual income. And residual income is incredibly powerful. That's what leads to financial freedom. We also have a program, it's kind of on hold at the minute with COVID, but we have a program where we reward our up-and-coming leaders and our established leaders with amazing trips around the world to some beautiful five-star resorts. And it's not just the amazing places you get to go, it's the amazing people you also get to go with. Like-minded, self-motivated, self-responsible human beings. Just a great, great team. So can you do this? Well, you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. There's unlimited support to help and teach and train you on what we do here. And it's very simple, guys. We get basically paid to connect with people, to say, hey, listen, there's been a breakthrough that you deserve to know about. If I sent you a short video, would you check it out? You can do the same thing with the business. Listen, there's been a breakthrough. It's heavily patented, no competition. It's an opportunity to earn significant residual income. If I sent you a short video, would you check it out? That's all we do. Just like James's friend said, look, there's something you deserve to know about. I think it might benefit you. And you can watch some information. Everything's online. We do everything through our videos and Facebook pages, and people get the information, make a decision, and have their experience, and so on. And so you're the messenger, you're not the message. So we're not looking for salespeople, we're looking for people that can go out there and let the world know simply that this technology exists. The timing is perfect, guys, to be really linking arms with us in this endeavor. We spent the first decade or so really laying the foundation for ASEA. What we're focused on now is the next decade of growth, where we intend to really even triple the size of this company in the next 5 years or so. It's going to be very, very exciting growth. This is the time to link arms with ASEA. Just very quickly to mention our mission statement: to better people's lives and be a force for good in the world. We can do a lot of that with our Big Blue Bottle and our compensation plan. But there's places that we can't reach, and that's what our foundation is for. We've partnered with Vision Cambodia to help build clean water wells so that kids can actually drink clean water. Some of these kids in Cambodia have never had a clean drink of water in their life. They spend every day with diarrhea and vomiting. So this is a really worthwhile project. And then Operation Underground Railroad, helping bring an end to the despicable and disgusting trade of child trafficking. And so our mission statement goes beyond just our product and opportunity. So in summary, We've got $1 billion technology in our hands. One technology, 2 delivery systems, 3 industries: the health and wellness industry, the athletics and sports industry, and anti-aging skincare. High impact, nobody else has it. Everybody needs it, and virtually nobody knows about it. That is opportunity. So getting started with us is very simple. You get your own website. It's a $40 enrollment fee. We encourage you to get one of our discounted enrollment packs. I'm not going to put it up here because we have people from all over the world, and we have different packs based on different markets. So do get back to the person that invited you here, see what is available in your market, start becoming a product of the product, start experiencing the technology for yourself. And then subscribe to our very user-friendly AutoShip. It's very user-friendly. You can cancel it. You could join today and cancel tomorrow. You're in total control. But that allows you to start earning loyalty reward points, and those points can be cashed in for free product. This is Vertus Norton, a man that has changed James's life, and he knows it, and a man that absolutely transformed my life. I'm very, very grateful to Vertus back in May 15th, 2009. When I first met Vertus Norton. And I will tell you, I love his words. We're all at the start of something big with great purpose. And right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. So look, thank you for your time and attention on this call. We went a little longer than normal, but thank you for your time and attention. Really do appreciate it. I would encourage you, if you've seen something here that lights your fire, that has caught your interest, I'm going to encourage you to get back to the person that invited you onto this presentation. Get your questions answered. We are a very, very transparent company. Get your questions answered. And if you decide to join us on this great ASEA adventure, then I want to be the first to welcome you on board. So big thank you for James for giving up some time for sharing his amazing story. And a big thank you to you for tuning in and listening to this information. So have a fantastic evening, everybody, and good night. Bye-bye.